Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another forms class. Today, we are going to be talking about septic systems, septic forms, and the entire process about the differences between each county. So let me go ahead and get started. Share my screen. Right. Oops. Over there. All right. All right, septic addendum. So where we're starting out here is Form 22S. This is the general septic addendum. Now, before you fill out a septic addendum, you should always go and make sure you know which county you're dealing with, because there are different septic addendums per counties, but not all counties have them. So the first one is the general one, and that's one we'll be reading today. Form 22S King, that's the King County Septic Addendum. You have a Mason County Septic Addendum, Skagit County, Thurston County, and then you got to skip all the way down here to Pierce County Septic Addendum. And Kitsap is 22 UU. So most other counties have their own septic addendum. So make certain that if you are going to be writing up a deal, and if it's on a septic system, you have to use the proper septic addendum. All right, so Zoom people, you guys are going to have to unmute, but answer the questions. What do you think you have to do if there's no, or excuse me, what if there's a septic system, but every single thing's already been done? You already have the pumping's been done, the county inspection's been done, everything's been finished. You don't have to do anything. Do you still have to add a septic addendum in the deal? What do you think? Do you think yes? Zoom people? What do you think?
Yes.
Yes, yes. Chat? Yes. Yeah, all right. So good. I'm glad that you guys got that one right. You'd be shocked how many people get that wrong. It's funny to me, but you would think, just like normal forms that you always want to make certain you have in a deal, septic's no different. I mean, you got to make sure that it's there. Probably back in, like, I don't know, before I got my managing broker's license, I know for a fact there was a broker in our office that got sued. And it was, yeah, it had to have been about 2003, 2004. And what had happened to this broker as he wrote up this deal, it kind of sucks because it wasn't, I mean, the person who listed the property was like a person who, wasn't very good. They didn't have a lot of stuff in there. They did say it was on septic, but they said they already had everything done. So everything's already done. So the broker took it at word, didn't even include the septic addendum. And when he told his clients, he said, oh yeah, the sewer stuff's all done. Whenever you're dealing with septics, make sure that you identify that property as having a septic. So what had happened is the buyers had no idea the property was on a septic. Nothing was included. And what do you think happened? Oh, yeah. Well, it was a little old grandma who owned it, lived by herself for years. This is like a family of 4 that moved in. So way more use, way more washing, more stuff. Oh yeah, and, oh, let's add a garbage disposal. This house does have a garbage disposal. Let's add one. Well, backed up the system. It actually had a crack in it. So they don't even know like who did the inspection or anything. But anyways, that was like $38,000. They sued the broker. They said, we had no idea this even had a septic. Otherwise, we would have never put a garbage disposal. We would have taken care of a system, you know, and actually we would have made sure the systems were there. So they sued the broker. So you absolutely want to make sure that everything is there. Doesn't matter if it's done or not. The only difference would be that you are going to go ahead and put 0 days for your contingencies if it's all done, but the addendum itself has to be there. People, you don't want to get sued. That is one of the easiest ones. All right, so let's dive into the form. Okay, septic addendum purchase and sale agreement. Use, attach this addendum to the purchase and sale agreement if the sale is conditioned on an inspection of the on-site sewage system, the OSS. However, this form only covers inspections of the OSS serving the property. If buyer wants to condition the sale on an inspection of the property and its improvements in general, use the inspection addendum form 35. So right away, they're telling you like, this form isn't meant to say, you know, you can inspect the whole house. This is only the inspection. This is only for the septic system. Explain it to the parties. Make sure your client understands this addendum. In particular, explain to buyer that if buyer fails to give written notice disapproving the inspection report, buyer waives this inspection condition and will contractually be obligated to close, regardless of the condition of the on-site sewage system. Okay? C, Elizabeth, you want to do C?
Section other provisions. The provisions of this addendum supersede any other provisions contained in the agreement that relate specifically to septic systems. Therefore, if you use this form in a purchase and sale transaction, make certain that all of the provisions regarding the septic system are contained in this addendum. Yeah,
so it's going to supersede anything else you got in the agreement. You've got to use the form. And then here's D, county-specific provisions. Some counties have enacted laws that require the sellers to comply with certain procedures before the property may be conveyed. You should review all of the county-specific addenda available to you from NWMLS to ensure that you are using the appropriate form for on-site septic or on-site sewage system contingencies. Please note that paragraph 2 of the addendum requires that seller comply with any local regulations that require seller to inspect the on-site septic prior to the sale of the property. On-site sewage system, OSS. So let me pop open. Now, first thing we're going to look at is, so assistance in filling in the blanks. You got the date, obviously the deal's written, the buyer's name, seller's name, address. Next is type of septic system. Indicate the type of septic system that serves the property. Is it a private septic system or a shared septic system? Shared septic systems are a lot rarer than just the, you know, the private ones. But you'll have them on occasion. How do you find if it's a shared or private system? How do you know? So tax records. So you can definitely pull up stuff. I'm going to give you guys a secret website. You're going to want to bookmark this. Okay, it's called Online RME. I won't give you the actual hyperlink because it's funny. They want you to register and go through this whole thing. You don't even have to do it. You actually have access to it by just Googling it. It's funny. I've probably been using this website for probably 18, 19 years at least. But it's called Online RME. If you just Google Online RME all together, the very first website or link that comes up is this one. And it actually says search statewide. So you can search the entire state of Washington. If you go to the second one, which is just onlinerme.com, this is where it's going to make you register and go through this whole thing, and you don't even need to. So open up this site, and this is the public access right here. So it goes to the United States, Washington by default, and for some weird reason, it just always defaults to Kitsap. So Kitsap County is the first one it just goes through. So you want to go ahead and go to the county that you want to use to search. As soon as I change the county, it gives you different stuff down here. And it says visit public health portal to pay the operation and maintenance fee for properties sold with septic systems. Buyers are responsible to pay this fee, and they will receive information about maintaining septic systems. So there's a thing right here that the buyer can actually do. Okay, so it's even separate than what even the seller has to do. Let's go and actually open up and find a property. Let's just go active. Let's do. We need. It's. Maybe. A lot of additional fields I've added. Not see that one. So let's go to potentially add additional fields. I'm going to try septic. Let's see what comes up. Ooh, nothing. Oh wait, what am I doing? I'm in the wrong box. Here, septic, nothing. But we can go bedrooms approved. Bedrooms approved. Add that. Now go back. This is how you add all those additional fields and scroll to the bottom. It should be the last one you added. Bedrooms approved, and let's do 3. So out of the actives, there's 66. So let's see. Yeah, we got one of our brokers as a property was on septic. And this is Josh's. All right. So let's go down and see what it says. It says septic. So the field is called sewer, and you can say septic. So that's another one. So maybe even we can change the criteria and actually go, oops, let's add or remove. And it was called what? Sewer? Ah, there's sewer type right there. So added that one, go back. And now we can clear this one. And this says septic. And you can even say not. Oh, I don't want, sometimes buyers like, I don't want to buy a home that has a septic system. So now there's a way that you can actually eliminate all of those in the search. If I said not, now there's, 1344 houses. Oh, I did more than actives. Pendings and contingents. Let's see, what did that do? So go to septic. Oh. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Someone else has got one too. So Hadip's got one. So bedrooms and septic approvals, as far as like size, the Northwest MLS has a rule, and this is one that really can get some sellers upset. And the rule is you can only list these properties with the bedrooms for the approved amount of the bedrooms on the septic system itself. So if you have a 2-bedroom septic system and the house actually has 4 bedrooms, what does that mean that you're going to put for bedrooms? Anybody? Zoom people?
2.
2. That's right. There's a nice one, Jill. Jill's on here too. And then we had, oh yeah. So let's open this one up. So let's look in here. We got legal, Form 17. This is as a right to maybe they have to have all the stuff for the septic stuff, but you definitely, if you have all the items done for septic, you probably want to upload those in the supplements along with your FERPTA. Everything should be there. We got a couple of these other ones. Let's open up this one. So, citing, scope of the estimate, legal. Let me see if anybody had any of the stuff for septic. This one. Oh, this is sewer. Did I change it? Oh, that's right. Remember I said not. I forgot I left it on. No wonder. So they want septic. Give us 8. Oh my goodness, I never do this. Ouch. We get this stuff uploaded. All right. Nobody's ahead of the curve here. Here we go. So you got septic information. Let's see what they got done. Here's the King County Seller's Notice of On-Site Sewage System Operation and Maintenance Requirements. So it looks like they had that on title, so it's recorded. So I'm guessing this is probably the last one from their sale when they bought it. See the date, 2006. So at least it is recorded. Let's see if they got the sketch. You usually want to see an as-built. Sometimes listing brokers don't even know, what has been done and performed, and they don't even have all the complete items because sometimes the seller doesn't even understand it, right? So now you got 2 people that don't quite understand. We just dealt with a deal this week where our broker, the listing broker, was the seller. So it was the seller's home on septic, and they said, yep, we're all done. We already had a septic company come out. So everything's done. And it's in King County. It's an older house. And we said, okay, let's go search and look online and see what they did. So we pulled up and went, and I like to take the tax ID number. Copy that. Okay, and then go to the online RME site. Here's King County. You can search by either the site address with either the house number and just the name of the street. Don't add everything else. Like if it was 5th Street Northeast, you would just put 5th. Do the drop down, we'll do tax ID. All right, paste that in, submit the search, and then you can see here's the property. All right, pulls it up. You have some different things here. Here's the site details. That's what we're on right now. Contracts, you can click that. There's nothing, no contract status history. Uploads, nothing uploaded. Here's the site work history, service history. Oh, look at this. In 2021, here's the OSS inspection, property sale, corrected. Corrected means they had issues, right? So over to the right-hand side, you see the report. You can click this, and that brings up the PDF of what happened. And if there's ever deficiencies, they always put it in red, and it says what it was, and then they correct it. So here's the item in which was corrected, said pumping needed. So sometimes that's a thing that they'll put in there. Sometimes it's not even always needed to be pumped. So that's, one of the good things. Like it's probably not the, probably not the worst thing when you see that's the only thing corrected. Here's the inspection date. So there's service history. Let's go to the application history. Now there's a time of sale OSS inspection, and it looks like 2/5/2021. Next is the application. Nothing has been submitted for the application yet. It says it's a gravity with a pump system. So there's only one thing in here. So is this property done? Nope. So septic information, all they uploaded was the stuff that they had on title. So it still needs to be done. Let's see if the listing says anything about the septic. Nope. Nothing about the septic. So probably would have to call Dog and Deep and say, hey, what's going on? Have you guys ordered the septic pumping and inspection with the county yet? So typically counties will allow these to be good for the time of sale for how long? You guys know? 6 months. Could be 6 months to a year. Depends on the county. This is King County. So unless your clients may be wrong on price, this has been on the market for 41 days. You can look at the history. Looks like that's it. It is active, and it's been sitting there. Is 41 days pretty long? It is in this market. Yeah. 14999, but look, it's land. It's probably what they want. It's on acreage, so they're trying to get. Yeah. That's overpriced. He's got trucking and stuff. So I don't know, maybe as a listing broker, you don't have them do it because maybe it will take longer than 6 months to sell. Right now in King County, and especially in Kent, houses are selling like 80%. It's like 76 to 80% in the first 30 days. Pretty much tells you things are moving if it's priced right.
Yesterday, there's only like 30 days
It's barely a month. So, this isn't probably the best example, but I want you guys to be familiar with this process on how do you go through and go find the information. So you can see this one, it's not very good. Let's go back to the search again. Okay. Let's close this one. Let's go to another listing. Let's find another one. Now let's go backwards because
Just for septic.
septic. Yeah. Nope, the online RME site. Yep. Yeah, you're gonna want this, write it down. Online RME. You just Google it and click the first link you see. The second link takes you to the login and registration page. You don't even need to register. It shows you this. And it's every county in the entire state of Washington. Okay. Let's go back. Let's look. Did they put anything? Features? No, nothing in this one. So let's take this one. Let's take this and take the tax ID number. Oops. Ah,
And that's for the state of Washington.
state of Washington. Every county. Let's do a new one. We got to go to King. Okay, change the site to tax address or tax ID, excuse me. Let's search this one. And here's our next one for Kent, right? So looks like there's some stuff here. Okay, so let's go the same thing. Here's site details. Let's look at the contracts. Nothing. Uploads. Nothing. Service history. Now we got some service history. You got stuff from 2015, 2018, 2021 twice. So there's a follow-up. That's kind of strange. Like a month later. Yeah, so they must have had something. Okay. Each one of these, you can pull all of these up. So the most recent one was 8/12/2022. Go over to the right, click on the report. If you want, you can email these to a client too. But I would open these up, and here is the operation performance monitoring report. Okay, no deficiencies noted. That's good. Very last one has no deficiencies noted. How often septic systems need to be pumped depends on how much they're used. Yeah. Yeah, one person living there, you know, and not the laundry, because you're talking, there's a lot of parts to the septic systems. You know, there's drain fields and there's different types of systems. There's mound systems that are partially above ground. There's ones that are gravity fed. Those are probably like some of the best because they automatically, water just flows downhill. So it just runs underground in these long tubes, which you never want to drive on them or park stuff on them or pour concrete over them because it can slowly crush them. So this one right here, right? Yeah, this one was done a while ago. So same type of thing. Okay, go back to that service history. You can see even this one. So there's that. So this is the same thing that 2021. Oh, this is the same thing. Looks like. Twice. Oh, 2022 was the first one, yeah. So next from service history is the application history. So there is the two applications, the time of sale, OSS inspection, all right? The TOS, time of sale. That's what's gonna have to be done again, but again, this one doesn't have it. Let's look in the application. There's no applications. Nothing's been submitted.
How long has this site been around for?
18 years. It's been a long time. Long time. So this is a, yeah, fantastic place. Yeah, it will save. So in Matrix, like you can click on the hyperlink, get to Realist. All right. And then each county hyperlinks from the tax ID number again. So you click it again, and now it takes you to the county's link to the property from Realist. So that does it for all the different counties, but you've got different stuff for the property detail. All right, click in here. And this one talks about numbers of buildings. You can see the sales histories, the recording numbers. There's permit history, home improvement, exemptions. But you can always, quickly get to this. It doesn't show septic stuff on this. On the King County's parcel viewer. Let's see if it even. Sewer septic is the only thing it tells you. Is it public or private? Private. Private means it's their own system, so it's septic. Yeah. Yeah, you can do services, septic. Search. Nothing on, oh. Septic. Septic on this one. So here's the about septic systems, King County, Washington. They have a direct phone number. You can call, give them parcel numbers, ask if things have been done yet. Statewide OSS rural revision. It's up here. I don't know a septic system. Search. Search on-site sewage septic system records. You can use this one, King County. Should be the one. Find address or parcel. Here it is. Pull up that one. It takes you to that address. And then septic maintenance records. Takes you straight to the online RME site. If you see how much faster it was for us just going straight to that online RME. So even King County uses that. All right, let's jump.
Who puts up an RME site?
I don't know. It's a county used public facing site. It stands for Responsible Management Entity. All right, let's get back. So, number 2, seller's representation. Seller represents to the best of sellers acknowledge. The OSS serving the property does not require repair other than pumping and normal maintenance. Does not currently violate any applicable local, state, and federal laws, standards, and regulations, and C, has no material defects. So maintenance records, seller shall deliver to buyer the maintenance records if available of the OSS serving the property within 10 days if not filled in a mutual acceptance. You guys, if you're representing buyers, use the online RME, pull up and print every single one of those that are in there. Print them all. Because I guarantee you, you're probably gonna have better records than the seller even remembers. So you might as well just get those done right away, and you can even give them to the listing broker, say, hey, here, I'll give these to you. Because, you know, you probably need them. I didn't see anything uploaded in the supplements. Now, listing brokers, you should also be using that site and do the same thing. Print every single thing that's in that list, go through all those records from the history, get them all together, scan them as part of everything you're providing, and have it added in the supplements of the listing. If it's on septic, that is something you should be doing 100% of the time. How many first impressions are there? You just get one. It makes no sense, like, to delay things and wait. You know, every single time you see a listing that has a ton of supplements in it, that pretty much tells you what? What do they tell? What do they say? What does that show you? Or what do you think? You're a buyer broker and you open up the supplements. You got one listing that has 2 things in it. Right? If you don't have the legal, you get a $50 fine. But if you go to that listing to a listing that has literally like 17 items uploaded, how does that make you feel? Feel like they did a great job? Yeah, I mean, it to a buyer, when you provide everything all at once, how does that, I mean, literally it helps answers a ton of different questions. And you're like, why? Like, hey, this is great. Think of it the same way, like you're buying a car, it's a used car, and they have every maintenance record from the history of when they took it off the lot brand new, 30 years ago. You're gonna be like, holy smokes, they took care of it, right? It just eases your worry, right?
It's also gonna save the listing broker time in the long run.
Of course it's gonna save time.
It's longer getting it ready, but then you're gonna save so much time.
Yep.
And also what it does is it minimizes the objections.
Yep.
And the evaluation. I've seen there's no septic system for all that.
Yeah, exactly. It definitely makes you question stuff. So let's see something. Oh yeah, let's actually pull up and go to the 22S King. Let's look up this one. Okay, we're gonna pull up the actual form. So King County's looks different. It's the first thing is what type of system they've got: served by a private septic system, served by a shared septic system, not served by an approved public or private sewer system. If checked, only paragraph 5 applies. That would be rare occasions, very rare. So only 5 is just the other. You'd have to write in like, yeah, for that one. Well, it's not an approved public or private. I don't even know like what you could definitely here. Let's go. Actually, I should just open. Let's do the SQ manual, because then they'll have the explanation a little bit different. County. Let's see if they get the numbers to the ones. Type. Oh, just indicate the type. I guess it doesn't even go into depth of it. I don't know what that one would be. Very strange. Maybe it's one that's not approved and they never got permits.
What's that?
Not served by an approved public or private sewer system. So maybe there's an old system there that doesn't work and it's not approved anymore. So they could use it for that. So seller represents, same thing. County Board of Health. Seller will retain a license on-site system maintainer, OSM, to prepare in a monitoring and performance inspection report of the OSS, operation and maintenance report, and to complete the other requirements of Health Code 136030 as soon as the OSM completes the requirements of Health Code 136030. Seller shall deliver to buyer a copy of the operation and maintenance report and a copy of the maintenance records for the OSS if available. So, remember listing brokers? We said, go get all those old records, get it all. And that's something you can, give to your sellers and say, here, I've already pulled everything on record for their septic system. We just need to order the new stuff. Buyer's obligations under this agreement are contingent on buyer's subjective satisfaction of the operation and maintenance report. This contingency shall be deemed waived unless buyer gives notice of disapproval of the operation and maintenance report within 5 days after receipt of operation and maintenance report. If buyer gives timely notice of disapproval, the agreement shall terminate and the earnest money shall be refunded to buyer. So that's how many days. It's 5 by default. Okay. Next is the inspection and pumping contingency. If checked, seller shall have the OSS inspected, and if the inspector determines necessary, pumped by an OSS service company at seller's expense. Seller shall provide buyer with a copy of the inspection report within 15 days if not filled in and mutual acceptance. If seller had the OSS inspected and if necessary, pumped within 6 months if not filled in. So there you go. It tells you when it has to be done for the sale. So max is 6 months. You probably, want to get it timed correctly. And again, listing brokers, if you have someone who's like pricing right on market value, no worries. You're like, yeah, this thing's going to sell probably in the first 30 days. You might as well just get it done and ordered and finished. And then for this section, they'll be putting zeros. You can just not even mark it. The other thing too is number 10 is buyer's right to attend. If seller has not already inspected and pumped the OSS, buyer may elect to attend by checking this box. Seller must give at least 3 days notice to buyer before the inspection occurs. So they're supposed to kind of time it to allow a buyer to do that. This space provided for any other agreements concerning the OSS. You should include all OSS related agreements in this addendum. So if you had all that stuff there, you would basically, if it's already been performed and done, you're going to go ahead and put into the form itself. You would not mark this, and you would probably not mark this. And I would be writing an other and just put buyer acknowledges receipt of the OSS and O&M OSM report performed on, such and such date. That's all you got to do. If someone does tell you, yep, everything's done, like we talked about in that story earlier, you're going to want to confirm and get the documentation, look at it, make sure it's okay. Septic systems have to be pumped by the company. So when it's time for a seller to list and sell, have them call companies. You guys want to know a secret? Pull up the online RME. Look who did the last septic systems pumping. You might as well go use the same company who last did it. Why? Because they know the history of what's already happened. Look at how many times these guys have been out here. Looks like Advanced Septic Services are the ones who did the company. Then it says Northwest Septic Services, Lilly Septic, A1 Environmental. That was back in 2015. How old is this house? 78, built in 1978. So go and you might as well just use the same type of same company. Yeah, and you already know they service that area. So literally, you pull the record, you got records already. call the same company right from the old forms. Tell the seller, say, here you go. Call them and give them, say that this is, you're planning to sell. You need the time of sale, paperwork done. Now, there's two things the septic companies can do. They can go out, do the O&M, do the pumping and the inspection. They'll provide the one form. But if you also pay the additional fees, they will file it all on the county for you. I think it's like 50 or 60 bucks more or something like that. Make certain that the company does the full package. Some sellers are like, oh, I'll save the money. I don't need to do it. How do you do it? I mean, now they got to get on the county and they have to go trying to find how to submit the online time of sale. Sale or time of transfer, right? No. Oh, yeah. Septic online order. Oops. So hope if I was typing straight on. All right. So there you got sponsored. King County, there's the search records.
When you go into online RFP, they just want to send it to somebody else. You can get that list of documents that you're talking about. Histories,
Just keep going down the list on those hyperlinks. It starts you out on the site. Yeah, look up here, Jim. You just go down this list. Right when you get logged, when you first put in a parcel number or the address, whatever one, then you just keep going down this left side. Uploads. Service history is where most of all of the other stuff is. Application. They're completed, submitted, and then any applications that are current.
I don't see this one house. This I don't see anything perfectly septic. It says septic regulated.
Regulated.
I know it's the house is built.
Oh, up here for general system type, you said?
Trying to see how to use the site.
Yeah, you're still on the site. You gotta use these little things. Go down to services. There's nothing. Yeah, if you get there and there's nothing in the service history, they haven't done anything. There's no record. They haven't done nothing. So it's probably not good if it's an older house.
Well, no, the house is 92.
Ah.
So there's room there for the pool, but I'm not seeing the ground for the septic field. That's the solid, the lids of the equipment. It's not like this, it's like that point, which is a full septic system.
Yeah.
Should be something record.
Yep. So Snohomish County each county has help that you can find on there. Still, I'm not seeing the thing to order. Pierce County, they use Tacoma Pierce County Health Department. So that's the Form 22WW. And they require two reports. It's the O&M and the RSS. So those two reports have to be done, and they file for the county inspection right online. The seller does it right on the Tacoma Pierce County Health Department.
I have a question for you. Is it King County only ask for a pressure test with septic field? That first thing I know the King County does. I
Yeah.
don't know if they do it.
King County. So sales, transferred properties, this is the same. So there's a cool flow chart here. These are fantastic. It says responsibilities at the time of sale for properties with septic systems in King County. Seller hires maintainer to complete septic system inspection. Seller reviews questions to know what to expect during the inspection. Seller hires the certified maintainer. Maintainer performs inspection. So it's either they either go one of two ways. Does inspection indicate that OSS needs repair? Maintainer submits a time of sale inspection report to Public Health Seattle in King County. Public Health Seattle King County reviews the time of sale inspection report within 10 business days. So if things haven't been done yet, remember back on our contingency, they have it as 15. That's why they have 15, because they need 10. So you bet if the seller still hasn't ordered it yet, you're really going to have to make sure that the seller gets that ordered right away, or you're not going to meet the deadline. You may have to put in longer days. You might have to put 20. Okay? So just be really careful with that, because otherwise it's going to be the date, it's going to lapse, and then the buyer now waives their contingency. All right. Next is maintainer, if the report needs to be corrected, seller provides copy of the inspection report to the buyer before closing. So does the inspection indicate that the OSS needs repair? Is the repair minor or major? So minor, maintainer makes minor repairs during the inspection or follow-up visit. Major, owner hires an installer or designer. Installer or designer obtains public health permit for repairs. So this is examples are replacing tanks, fixing drain fields. Those are the expensive ones. Just from King County. Yeah, we'll download this one. Seller submits notice on title. This is the second part, and this is the thing that gets missed all the time. Seller reviews on-site sewage system notice on title requirements. Seller completes the cover sheet and notice of on-site sewage system operation and maintenance requirements. Seller submits the cover sheet and OSSM to the King County Office of Record and Elections Recorder's Office by mail or in person. Okay? So a few weeks later, Recorder's Office mails back the original document with the recording number included. Seller gives a copy of the record OSSM to the buyer before closing. Buyer acknowledges in writing receiving a copy of the OSSM. King County Administration Building, Pioneer Square, King County. There's the address. I'm telling you right now, if you mail it, how much longer do you think that's going to take? At least. You're probably looking at another 7 to 10 days. It's big mistake. Buyer submits the required operation maintenance fee on Public Health's online portal. Okay. Public Health, Seattle King County sends information regarding good practices in maintaining septic systems. Here's all the things for the seller's responsibility, maintainer's responsibility, public health responsibility, recording office responsibility, buyer's responsibility. Download this. Documents. On a sale. Septic. Septic chart. I'm gonna upload that in the chat. You guys have a copy. I would definitely save that. This is a great thing. I would have this maybe in your listing paperwork. This might be stuff, as soon as the place is on, as soon as you've got a property that's got septic, you might as well just kind of like have that ready to go. each county has their own specific requirements. So that's, you're gonna have to do the same process that we went through for each of those counties. I mean, it's pretty much that simple. All right. That is it for today. Hopefully that opens your eyes on some details. Oh yeah, this is gold.
People know about wells on them too.
Don't-
That's only doing the septic, rather than the zips.
Yeah.
We have to do the side.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah, this is just the septic, public, private, excuse me, private septic systems.
It's like finding out for sure.
Yeah, that stuff's, opinion that we talked about. Cool, all right, thank you guys for making it. We will see you on the next one.